Welcome to World War II Chronicles, a weekly tribute to America's fighting men and women in commemoration of the Second World War. These programs are narrated by Ed Herlihy and are based on the news broadcasts of the war period from the recorded sound collection of the National Archives in Washington, D.C.
Where the leaders are, there the news is. For that reason, most of London's news is coming from Washington tonight.
In the summer of 1942, Winston Churchill, Prime Minister of Great Britain, arrives in Washington to confer with President Roosevelt. At the request of the two war leaders, the combined British and American General Staff meet to plan the strategy of attack.
When the Allied leaders met on June 18, the purpose of the discussions was to develop plans for a second front in Europe under a combined Chiefs of Staff. Selecting a commander for this undetermined front was not difficult. Supreme command of Allied forces in Europe was given to an unknown general named Dwight Eisenhower.
The cause for all this optimism may well arise from the appointment today of Major General Dwight D. Eisenhower, tank specialist and disciple of General MacArthur, as commander of forces in the European Theater of Operations. And according to the War Department, a theater of operations is an area where combat is in progress or will be. General Eisenhower conferred a few days ago with Churchill and Roosevelt, and he is now in London preparing to work with British military leaders there, all of which appears to spell out Second Front this year.
The leaders of the U.S. and Britain agreed there should be an Allied offensive in 1942, but what form that offensive should take was still in question.
There is still the possibility that a tremendous aerial campaign will constitute the Second Front, or perhaps a series of strong commando raids. Perhaps, too, a second land front in 42 depends upon the circumstances that arise and the opportunities that open, while meantime we carry on a war of nerves which will keep German troops in Western Europe away from the Russian front.
Roosevelt supported landing Allied forces in Western France. Churchill, however, wanted an attack on French North Africa. After a deadlock of over a month, Roosevelt decided to put full U.S. support behind the North African invasion. Named Operation Torch, it would be the first U.S.-British land offensive against Germany. I'm Ed Herlihy. Join me next time for World War II Chronicles.
World War II Chronicles was produced by the American Veterans Center and Radio America in cooperation with the National Archives. To listen to more episodes, subscribe on iTunes or visit AmericanVeteransCenter.org. We need your help to keep the legacy of our World War II generation alive. Visit AmericanVeteransCenter.org to make a donation to support World War II Chronicles and the ongoing work of the American Veterans Center.